when I'm creating a new funnel that I'm going to launch, a new thing, right? I might spend a week just trying to figure out the offer. Like, how do we price the offer? How do we structure? Like, what goes first? What goes second? Like that's where most of the heavy lifting is. And the actual creating the thing is really easy. It's all of that stuff that takes a while. And so my goal for this hour is just to, like, get you guys thinking through like offer structure because it can change everything. A good example, we have an event called Selling Online. A lot of you guys are selling it in OfferLab. Thank you very much. You get 100% commission. So feel free to keep doing that. But in selling online, towards the end of the event, we actually do an offer, right? And it's a $10,000 offer, which, depending who you are, that may be really expensive or really cheap, but it's a pretty high ticket offer, right? And we're doing it. There's no salespeople. There's no way. It's just like we're making an offer. Okay. And so you think it's like, well, make a $10,000 offer. That's it, Russell. And it's like, no, there's so much strategy goes into how to make that offer. And every month we redo this event and we test it and we tweak it and we test it and we tweak it. And it's crazy because just the way that we structure the offers is like, for example, for a while it was like, it was just $10,000. Like that's what it cost, right? And it started selling. Then we're like, hey, what if we structure this offer differently? What if we offered a payment plan? So it's $10,000 or 3 payments of 3,997 or whatever, right? So we structured that offer and it did better. And they're like, what if we do something different? And like the version right now that's winning out of everything is the way the offer works is that people put in down a deposit for $997. And then after that, they can choose if they want to play the rest right away or do a payment plan or if they put on multiple cards. But it's just like, it was the same, the end thing we're selling the same, but the way we structure and position the offer changed everything. Okay, we 3x'd our sales. Same amount of traffic, 3 times as much money by just shifting how we did the offer. Does that make sense? Because I'm nervous when I get into these playbooks. Some of you guys are gonna be like, oh, these all seem very similar, Russ. I'm like, they all seem very similar, but they're all different ways to structure an offer correctly as an affiliate. Okay, and so I don't want you guys missing this. I'm almost nervous to go through them because you're like, oh, that seems really simple. I'm like, yes, but the thought that goes into this is the secret. Okay, if I can 3x my sales by positioning the same offer, same price point, but just how I position it differently, that changes everything, right? Same thing when we had our continuity program, our membership sites, right? Like we positioned it one way, but when we shifted how we structured the offer, dramatically increased the sales. When I do a webinar, the way I structure the offer dramatically increases the sales. And so that's the lens I want you to look at today through, okay? Because I'm going to tell some stories, I'm going to show some examples, and again, all these they're similar. You'll notice. Okay, but the way we structure the offers is the aha. It is the big secret. Okay, and so again, I don't want anyone to miss it because I'm afraid that you're gonna go through these and be like, that was it. It's like, don't miss this. I promise you, it's nuanced, but it is so vitally important. And when you get it, it's the difference between good to great. So that's why you can tell I geek out on this kind of stuff. Like I'm mildly obsessed with everything. Somebody asked when the extra bonuses from McCall and Eileen. Oh, Eileen literally messaged me today. Hold on. I thought McCall's already in there. If not, I'll make sure we get him in there soon. But Eileen literally messaged me today and said, your OfferLab membership portal is about to receive the most fire bonus of all time. And then she sent me a picture of her 1-day cash machine. So that's going in there. So yeah, they are, if they're not in there now, they'll be in there very, very soon. I'll make sure from our team that we get all the other bonuses like McCall's in there. So, okay. You guys ready for this? We're going to dive into some nerdy stuff that I love talking about. Hopefully you guys will enjoy as well. So I'm going to pull my slides here. Make sure you can see it. Make sure my sound plays. I got 1 or 2 videos in here we're going to enjoy together, which will be fun. All right, you guys can all see my screen. Just say OfferLab. If you see OfferLab, say what's up in the chat so I know that we're there. All right. Got some what's up. Okay, before I dive into the slides, a couple things I want to show you guys. Last week, what we did is we built out this funnel right here, right? And I've showed you guys the logical sequencing event from a book, order for a month with more books. Check out Scroll's working. So yeah, they fixed that. My team was on here as I was doing it and they were trying to fix it in the background. So that worked. And then also remember the love notes weren't working. So I fixed it. We got the love notes working. So I just wanted to kind of start this one recapping what we did last time so you can actually see the final product. So check it out. This is my link. Boom, you go right here and there's the page. When you click on enter your shipping details, it goes over here and goes to the OfferLab order form. And right here on the right-hand side, boom, check it out. There is Russell Brunson. You can see my love note I left right here, and you can click on it and be like, hey, what's up? I'm so glad you were here, and you took my recommendation to get the 30 days book. You are going to love it. All you gotta do is there it is. So there's the video I made, and then there's order form bump to get the whole book, boom, and the order form. So there's page number 1. Then after you buy it, it goes to upsell number 1, boom, there's the love note over here. My screen is ridiculously huge, so it's way off centered. I'm gonna talk to my team about figuring out how to make those more centered because yeah, when you have a big desktop. On mobile though, this looks beautiful, and the majority of sales nowadays do come through mobile. So on mobile, it looks flawless, but my huge desktop's a little goofy. So they come right here, they see upsell number 1, then they click on no thanks link, and boom, or yes link, and it either bills them or says no thanks. Then it goes to upsell number 2, which is a selling online event. Same thing, there's a new love note. Oh, let me show you back here. Love note. What's up? I hope you're doing awesome. First off, thank you so much for getting the 30 days book. You are going to love it. It's going to be Boom. So there's a video of me pitching the book club, and then over here, here's a picture of me video, or the video of me pitching, selling online. All right, this is Russell again. So congratulations, you're on the last step of the funnel. This one's really exciting because you're gonna be learning about how to start Amazon and that's there as well. Okay, so very, very cool. And one thing I didn't realize we had, but check this out. You can also on the thank you page, also throw in your message as well there. So I didn't make that, but that's another cool thing on thank you page. You can throw in a love note as well for your people. So anyway, I want to show you guys that the funnel is there and it actually works. So the two little hiccups we had last week, they're cleaned up. Any hiccups, come on, let us know. We have a list of things we're adding, features you guys have been suggesting in the school group. Keep dropping them there. We hear you. We're watching. We're archiving. We're documenting. We're putting them in the right order. We're busting them out, which is really, really fun. So, okay, with that said, let's dive into some of the actual training. So again, there's 8 affiliate playbooks we're going to go through to show you 8 different ways to make money as an affiliate on the OfferLab platform. And again, all of these have their little intricacies. So listen as I explain, and hopefully it'll help you make sense how these all can work together, okay? So here's the 8 affiliate playbooks. Porcupine and Heat, which is still my favorite name. And then we designed that. I was like so happy. Porcupine and Heat, the Trojan Horse, Identification Station, Cliff Notes Vacuum, Synthetic Buy Now Button, Trip in Trial, Hostage Bump, and the Commitment Hijack. So we're gonna lead with number 1, the Trojan Horse. This is the first one we're gonna talk about. So are you guys all familiar with the story of the Trojan Horse, right? Anyone out there professional Greek mythology? I think it's Greek. Anyway, the basic gist of it is they needed to get. I'm not gonna know the story well enough to know. They needed to get inside the walls of the city, and so they couldn't. They were trying to attack the walls. They couldn't get in, and so they went and they put this huge horse out there, and they all hid inside the horse. So the people opened up the thing, and they brought the Trojan horse inside the gates. They closed it, and then all of a sudden people jumped out of the Trojan horse and killed them all. Right? So Trojan horse was like the sneak attack to get in. Okay, and so we use the Trojan horse as an affiliate when we're trying to sneak attack something we are trying to sell. Okay, something that has high competition. In fact, I think my next slide says that. When you have something that's really high competition or it's hard to sell, then you're going to use the Trojan horse. Okay, and so let me give you here. Let me stop sharing. I'm going to share an example of this really quick. The first time I started understanding this, about 10 or 11 years ago, I launched a company, and it was a supplement company. First time I launched a supplement company, I was so excited. My product was called Neurocell, help people overcome nerve pain. It was really cool. So we launched it. It was making a bunch of money. And then I was like, what should I add now as an upsell and a downsell? Trying to figure those things out. And I started calling a whole bunch of my friends who were in the supplement world. And I remember this one guy named Mike Lovett, who's one of the smartest marketers I've ever met. And he had a big supplement company. I called him. I said, okay, I have this Neurocell that's converting. It's really good for people with diabetic neuropathy, helping nerve pain. What should I put on the back end? Like, I don't really know what to sell people after that. And he said, oh, Russell, you have to understand. He's like, every supplement business is the same. He's like, the way we all make money in the supplement business is we're all selling protein. And we're selling, they're like fish oils and whatever. There are a couple things. I was like, what? Those are again, very high comp. Like everyone's selling protein. He's like, exactly. He's like, but we can't make the money does not work when we promote protein because there's 8,000 protein offers out there. It doesn't work. He's like, so all of us have a very unique front end. It's very niche specific. So for him, he had a red drink. Okay, you've heard of green drinks before, like all the famous green drinks. He had a red drink. So instead of putting a scoop of powder in, you're drinking fruits and or whatever, greens. His was a scoop, and it was the reds, right? It was really good. In fact, one of the best products out there. It was amazing. And he's like, that's my unique thing. But after you buy it, guess what I upsell you? Protein, fish oils, like all the things that people actually need to be healthy. He's like, so I have to have a very unique front end. And they started showing me all of the people in the market. He's like, see that guy right there? I think it was Ed O'Keefe. He had Marine D3. He's like, Marine D3, that's his unique front end. And guess what his upsells are? Protein, fish oil, like everything else, like the same things, right? The high competition stuff. And then started going through and he showed me like probably a dozen of the biggest people in the supplement market. It was like, oh my gosh, they all have one really unique thing on the front end and they sell all the generic stuff, the high volume. People want it, but it's so competitive, it's impossible to win online. Okay, so that's where this whole concept of the Trojan horse came from. So with Neurocell, guess what we started doing? We had Neurocell, then people would upsell Omega Cell, which is our fish oil. Then we had some protein, and like we just did the same thing, right? And sure enough, it's what crushed for us. So, all right, so there's my Russell story for this one. Let me come back here. So in this example, you figure out what is the thing that you want to sell, okay? So in this example, I showed creatine because creatine is something that I love and it's something that is high competition. A lot of people selling creatine. So it's like, I got to find something that's very unique on the front end that doesn't have a lot of competition, sell that, and then from there, one-click upsell people into the thing that is higher competition, okay? The example I shared during the live training was this product called Kenzyme, which is on OfferLab right now. Kenzyme is a really cool product. I'm sure you guys see in the news right now, everybody's talking about microplastics and how like the average person drinks or has like think it's like a credit card worth of microplastics like per month or something. I don't know, something crazy. I can't remember. And they're really bad in your body. For men, it raises, it lowers your testosterone. It just wreaks havoc, right? These plastics we have because we're all drinking the water bottles and all sorts of stuff. So everyone's complaining about it. It's all over the news. It's all over like all the biohackers talk about like don't drink in plastic bottles. But this is the first product that actually digests the plastics. It's like digestive enzymes, but instead of like digesting your food, it digests plastic, right? Very unique, very timely, very interesting. In fact, I want to build a whole campaign just crushing this because it's really unique, right? But because of that, there's a lot of people talking about it, but there's no competition. This is the only product on the market right now that does this exact same thing. Okay, so I can go out there with this because it's such a unique product. I can promote it, and on the back end, I can sell creatine or protein or whatever else I want to sell in there, right? As an affiliate. Okay. And understanding like this gives me the ability with the Trojan horse concept to go after something that's smaller, that's unique, that's niche, that nobody's talking about, and go focus on selling that. But then they upsell and they buy all the things that are higher competition, right? Because me just trying to launch a creatine business is going to be expensive. It's going to be hard to get people buying things, right? So what's cool about this inside of OfferLab, there's a bunch of supplements in there right now. In fact, I'm trying to get everyone I know who's got a supplement company to put things in there, put in creatines and proteins and fish oils and all those other things. I eventually will have insane amounts of supplements in there. And then for you, it's like figuring out what's the front end. And it doesn't have to be a supplement either. It could also be a course. It could be a product. It could be a million different things. It's just thinking anytime you find a product you want to sell, like I want to sell this product because I love it. But everyone's selling it. It's high competition. Like how am I going to compete with everybody? It's like, okay, let me think about that. If I do know that, this comes back to we talked about on the last trade with logical sequencing of events. I'm going to reverse engineer that in my head, right? So I'm like, okay, if I want to sell protein powders, who am I selling this to? Am I selling it to, let me go face to face. I'm explaining this. If I'm selling this, I'm selling protein powder, right? Like if I'm selling this, and this might help as well. It's like, anytime I'm an affiliate, I'm promoting an offer, I'm like, who's my dream customer? So a lot of times I was like, who's my follow? Do I have a, if I have following on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, do I have an email list? Do I have people follow me on, whatever, like who are you trying to sell to? Who's your dream customer? So if I'm selling protein and if my dream customers are wrestlers, because I love wrestling, right? Like I'm like, okay, what's the front end that a wrestler's gonna like that upsell into that, right? Or if I'm selling protein, but I'm a bodybuilder, what's a bodybuilding product, right? This Kenzyme concept would be if if my dream customer was like the biohacking market, biohackers, right? So Kenzyme's gonna speak to those guys directly, and then from there, then I upsell the creatine or the protein or whatever it might be, right? So I'm reverse engineering in my head the logical sequence of events. Who's my dream customer? I'm trying to sell them protein. Let me step back. Okay, if my dream customer is biohackers, how do I frame this? Now I frame, okay, Kenzyme's this thing that helps you to kill the microplastics. They buy that in the upsells like, hey, you get the microplastics. Next thing you do, as a biohacker, you need more protein. So my favorite protein is this. You should buy it right here. Click down below. And they start one-click upselling people into the highly competitive things. Does it make sense? You guys getting this? Do you understand how Trojan horses work? All right, all right. If you like that, type in Trojan horse in the comments. I want to see some Trojan horses. Okay. All right. Now, again, we're going to be getting to the broker blueprints here in some future trainings. But for you guys as brokers, as you're thinking through this, like what are the high demand products they're selling right now on Shopify, on Amazon, on these different places? How can you get those into the platform? And that way everybody else can start doing this Trojan horse as well. So we'll get deeper in that when we get to the broker playbooks, but just understanding like that's the concept, right? Finding these high, very, very competitive things coming back. Okay, here's another example. So how many of you guys have ever seen the TV show The Prophet? I think he's got a new version. I can't remember what it's called nowadays. Anyway, back in the day, we had Marcus Lemonis actually come and speak at Funnel Hacking Live, which was cool. And then he asked me if I wanted to be on the show. And I was like, heck, yes, I do. And after we were on the show, then he was like, hey, he's like, I want you to build some funnels for me. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? He's like, well, I'm the CEO of Camping World. And he's like, the product we want to sell the most is, it's this Good Sam roadside assistance, right? And I was like, that's a hard product to sell. Like, he's like, can you sell this in a funnel? I'm like, I can sell anything in a funnel, but I'm like, that's like a weird one, right? And so I'm looking at that. So this is an example of like, high demand, really hard to sell product, right? Okay. And so this is the equivalent if you're in the supplement world of like protein or fish oils, right? It's high demand, harder to sell. And so when Marcus Lemonis gave me that, I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Yes, I can sell that. But I was like, how do I do it? In my head, I'm like, I need a Trojan horse. I got to back into this to be able to figure out something on the front end that is sexy, that is exciting, brings people in, and I can one-click upsell people into this thing that they need. They may not necessarily want it, but the thing that they need, right? And so that was kind of the thought process. And so luckily for you and for me, as I was doing this experiment, I recorded me building out this funnel. Do you guys want to see this? It might be kind of fun for you. It's a little goofy. Okay. Again, after Marcus messaged me to ask if I sell roadside assistance, I'm like, okay. So I actually went to Camping World and I was like, let me figure out what I would do on the front end as a Trojan horse to get people to buy roadside assistance eventually. So that was kind of the premise. Here's a quick video clip. When I click it, if you can hear the audio, I type in one so I can make sure you can actually hear the audio on this. Sometimes it doesn't play through the videos, but this will hopefully get you guys in the mindset of understanding how I'm thinking through Trojan horses. Ready, set, go. So we came here to Camping World, and we asked them, like, what's your number one best-selling product in the entire store? And like 3 people told us the same thing. Boom. What is it, Dave?
Toilet paper.
What kind of toilet paper though? It's very special.
It's very, very special. This is actually biodegradable, and it's made specifically for RV and marine. And so it's RV and marine sanitation system.
All right, so toilet paper is the front. So when you're free plus shipping offer on toilet paper, plus typically you don't just want to buy 4 packs of toilet paper, especially if you're on a big trip, you need a lot more. So we're gonna have some order form things, increase the value there, right? So now we know a couple things. We know that they have an RV, and we know that they are concerned about toilet paper, right? So what do we know next? What's next in the queue?
Now they've got this in there. Now it's in the toilet, basically it's in this tank. Now they gotta make sure the tank works right and the tank actually flushes correctly so it can drain and so it doesn't smell. And that it breaks everything down quickly. So to break it all down quickly, they have the BioPack, which is their second best-selling product in the whole store. Crazy. So, poop. We're talking about poop here, you guys, in case you're wondering. So these smell good. So this is gonna be the order form bump. Boom. All right. They're wiping their butt. Smells good in the camper. What's next? Oh no! What happens if the poo overflows and it's a huge mess? So boom. Now my tank's full. I got to get rid of all this crap. Literally, the crap that's in my tank. I got to get rid of it. So I have a new swivel fits. This is the Rhino Flex, 15-foot. What is this thing?
It pushes the crap out of the RV. So now you guys know something with the theme, right? There's tons of stuff here in Camping World, but we're trying to figure out a theme that we're bringing somebody through. So logically, there's logic between step by step inside the funnel. And after we have protected their yes, and then we made it smell good, and then we got rid of it. How else can Camping World protect their customers? And this is the answer. Boom. The Good Sam Roadside Service Club.
Because you don't want to be sitting on the toilet there and all of a sudden your RV doesn't start back up and now you're running out of toilet paper and it stinks and it smells bad and you got to get rid of this stuff as fast as you can. So get on the phone, call Good Sam, they'll get your RV moved out of the way so you can dump.
Boom, so there you go, funnels. There is an e-commerce funnel out of a store. We can do this in Walmart, we can do any store you want, but we're doing it here today. We're gonna prove this thing goes live. We're gonna make some money.
Drop the mic.
For Marcus. Drop the toilet paper.
Drop toilet paper.
What do you guys think? You guys excited too?
This is good, guys.
Yeah! All right, we're gonna go make this funnel now. Bye. Okay, so you guys getting this? You see how it works? So we find the Trojan horse that's the most best-selling, easiest to sell, most unique thing, most fun, and then we use that to get people in to then sell the more expensive thing that has high competition, is hard to sell, and stuff like that. So here's the actual funnel we built. And again, this is the funnel we built out. In theory, if I can get Camping World into OfferLab, you could just build this really quickly in OfferLab, obviously. But I'm trying to share the concept with you. So as you're looking through offers in OfferLab, as you're a broker bringing offers into OfferLab, you start thinking through these concepts, okay? All right, so here's the funnel we built for them. Let us ship you 4 rolls of our fast dissolving toilet paper for free. And they would pay for that, and then we upsold on the order form bump. We had the septic smell good order form bump. So again, you could throw in an order form bump septic smell good thing. And then we had the RV kit all the way down. And eventually sold them the Good Sam roadside assistance. Okay, so you see how we did that? The Trojan horse was the toilet paper. What we actually were trying to sell was the roadside assistance. That's the main product they wanted us to sell inside this funnel, okay? So for you guys, the same kind of thing. You figure out what is the thing that we want to sell. It's got high competition. What do I need to do? What is the Trojan horse I can find, I can build, I can create, I can plug in that's going to get people easier, less expensively, and then from there, push them up into the thing that we actually want to sell, okay? All right, you guys all getting this? You guys all getting this? So if you have high competition or hard to sell product, then use the Trojan horse playbook. That is how the Trojan horse playbook works. Okay, affiliate playbook number 2. What if you want to sell something that's really, 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 really expensive? I think the most expensive offer on OfferLab right now is like $3,500. I think in the future, people putting in $8,000, $10,000, $12,000. So there'll be more of those things coming in the future, which is kind of cool. In fact, it's a good place for you guys to bring, as a broker, to bring people over. Because imagine if somebody sells a $10,000 program and you're getting a royalty on it, like it's exciting. So, okay, so playbook number 2 is the commitment hijack. Okay, and so this is kind of how the commitment hijack works. Again, we're trying to get them to buy the more expensive thing. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna sell something less expensive to get them to commit then to get them to upgrade. Okay. We talked on yesterday's training about commitment and consistency, right? When somebody commits to something, they're more likely to consistently keep moving towards that thing. Okay. So first thing I want to think about is what is the really expensive thing? So it could be a high ticket program, something else. One of my favorite examples, this is a guy named Perry Belcher. So he has no Perry. Well, this isn't him, but this is one of his businesses back in the day. He was the first one that shared this to me. I thought it was so cool. So Perry owned a custom suit business. Okay. So custom suits are not cheap. Depending on the suit, could be anywhere from $500 to $5,000 or more. But that was his company. And so he had people that would walk into the stores, they would get these custom suits and stuff like that. But he's like, how do I use the internet to get more people in? Okay. Enter the commitment hijack. What he did is he said, okay, I want somebody to get a suit. What do I know about people who buy suits? Okay. And again, you can fill this in with any high ticket thing. What do I know about people that buy a high ticket coaching program? What do I know about people who buy a retreat, a yoga retreat? What do I know about people that, insert whatever the higher ticket thing is you're trying to do, right? Okay. And so what you're going to do is you got to reverse engineer that. What is the thing that they need prior? What do we know about that person? Okay. So if somebody is getting a custom suit, how many guys are custom suit people in here? If you are someone who gets a custom suit, type in custom suit. If you're like, I would never buy a custom suit, type t-shirt. Okay. Are you a custom suit person or a t-shirt person? I'm curious. Okay. And I'm kind of in between. I was a t-shirt guy my first 20 or 35 years of my life. Last 5 years, I've gotten to a couple little bit nicer things. But one thing, most of you guys are t-shirts, t-shirts and flip-flops. But one thing I found, I got a couple custom suits to look nice every once in a while. And I started getting shirts. And one thing I found out about shirts, you guys know about this? These little things called cufflinks. You probably do. I thought they were dorky at first, and now I love them. Okay. Now, what's interesting is that people who buy cufflinks, guess what they also happen to buy 100% of the time? People who buy cufflinks also buy custom suits. Okay. And so this is how the commitment hijack works. Okay. I know I'm trying to sell somebody a high ticket suit. So let me put out an offer that's low ticket, that's easy to sell, that I know that my dream customer is going to buy. Okay. So this was Perry's funnel back in the day. He was giving away a $38 pair of silver knot tie cufflinks for free. It's part of FrenchCuffy.com national promotion. So you would opt into this thing and you get free plus shipping, things like $4.95 shipping handling. He'd ship you out these things. And then what he knows is that people who wear cufflinks are typically people who buy custom suits. And then from there on the next page, he was able to upsell custom suits, suit design, all sorts of stuff from there. Okay. So that's how the commitment hijack works. Does that make sense, you guys? You kind of understanding that? So when you go, yeah, you guys are like, cufflinks are cool. Cufflinks are cool. I've got the cool, most of my cufflinks are like gears and stuff. And so like, I wear them to church every Sunday and my daughter takes them off and like plays with them and spins them and they're so fun. And it's also, sorry, this is a Russell rant. You know how girls, like when you dress up, girls have like dresses and hair and like a million things they can do. And guys are like boring. It's like white shirt and pants and a tie. So your tie, you can kind of like do some cool ties. That's about it. So cufflinks are for men to like give us that ability to like feel special, like have a little pop of like something weird that we can be like, I don't have earrings, but I got cufflinks. So anyway, that was probably a little too much of an insight inside Russell's brain. But anyway, but this is the concept of the commitment hijack, right? So commitment and consistency. So you figure out what's the high ticket thing you want them to get, right? And we need to get them to make a micro commitment to move them towards that thing. So we find something that's low ticket, easy to explain, it's exciting, it's cool. If someone saw it, if my dream client saw that, they're like, oh, I want some cufflinks, sweet. Free plus shipping, I'm in. Boom, they buy the cufflinks. Now you know that person coming in is really likely then to, like they just made a commitment on cufflinks, which means their commitment level to the next offer is much higher. Like they're really likely to sell a suit. Whereas if I just sent traffic directly to a $5,000 custom suit, it's gonna be hard to convert, right? And so we use this commitment hijack to kind of reverse engineer it. Someone said inside Russell's brain would be a crazy place to visit. Yeah. It's very entertaining in here, I promise you. Anyway, okay. So another example, let's say you have a $3,500 golf camp, which I think is actually an offer inside of OfferLab. That's why we made this example. Because like, whoa, someone actually posted it. So imagine $3,500 golf camp. You're like, okay, if I know that somebody is going to be a golfer, they want to go to golf camp. What do I know about that person? Okay, what are the things that they buy? And then we reverse engineer that. I'm going to create a low ticket thing to attract that person in and then move them up the value ladder, get them to actually buy more things. Okay, so they go through. So it could be like a $27 golfing guide. And you could upsell someone a $47. I don't even know, a magnifying glass watching golf. I can't remember what our example was there. And then they upsell a $97 course, and that gets now to upgrade into the $3,500 thing. Okay, people that make commitments continue to make commitments. They'll continue to move forward in that direction. The first time I learned this concept of commitments, a lot of you guys know I served a mission for the Mormon church, and I was in New Jersey. I was knocking doors every single day. And one thing I found that I learned during the process of talking to hundreds of people, getting the door slammed in my face, I had someone like sick their dogs on me to come and like insanity. All sorts of crazy things happen, but I had so much fun doing it. So I'm knocking doors, and I started learning this principle. And this is actually, by the way, the principle that's going to prove to me if you guys are successful in all areas of life. So this is the double lesson I'm giving you here. Okay. So what I found is that what our job was as missionaries, we knock on the door, we'd have a conversation, and then we would try to get people to make and keep a commitment. Okay. Big secret. So I would try to get people to make and keep a commitment. Now, a lot of people will make a commitment. Like, hey, will you read this chapter here? I'll come back tomorrow. We can talk about it. They're like, yeah, I'd love to. So they make a commitment. And then what we do is we come back the next day and see if they kept the commitment, okay? And if they kept the commitment, then we may give them a new commitment. And we take them down this path over and over until eventually our goal was to get somebody to be baptized, right? So that was the path, okay? Now, a lot of people are going to making commitments. Almost everyone's like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And then very few would actually keep the commitment. So we show up the next day, like, did they keep the commitment? And if they did, we give the next one and they progress and they have success in life, okay? So here's the personal development lesson for you. The people who have success in life are people who not only make commitments, but they keep commitments. That's it. They make and keep commitments. That's the big secret, okay? You're like, how do I be successful in life, Russell? Make and keep commitments. That's it. If you learn how to do that, you'll be successful in whatever you want to do. Business, sports, athletics, whatever. Everyone's good at making commitments. Most people suck at keeping commitments, okay? So that's the process. But you understand the same thing is true now in business, okay? Is I'm getting people to make little commitments, right? Like when I was on my mission, I'd give them a little commitment. Like read this verse, okay? Like cool. Now let's read this next thing. Okay, now do you want to come to church with us? Yes. Okay, and so like we're making these commitments. The commitments over time escalate, they get a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger, to eventually the bigger commitment, right? Same thing true when I met my beautiful wife, right? I see her, I'm like, dang, if I have a chance with her, that'd be amazing. So I asked her on a date. She says yes. She made a commitment. Then she showed up to the date. She kept the commitment. Like, this is amazing. I'm like, do you want to go on a second date? She's like, yes. She made a commitment. She kept it, right? And then I'm like, a little bigger commitment. Like, can I give you a hug? Boom, a little bigger commitment, right? Next time, give her a kiss. And like, we start slowly, and the little commitments lead to bigger commitments. So eventually, I said, will you marry me? She said yes. We got 5 kids. It's insane. Like, but it all came from like making and keeping commitments, okay? So commitment hijack is all about that, understanding psychology, how it works with humans, okay? So we're trying to get people to make and keep commitments. So we start off with simpler commitments, okay? So again, when you come back to this example here, a $17 guide or a $5 guide or something where it's like they're making it like, hey, you want to become a better golfer? Cool, pay $5, get this guide. They buy the guide, okay? They just made a commitment towards that. Like, cool. So you still want to be a golfer? How'd you like us to like send in a video of you and we'll critique your swing for $47? See, maybe that's what the offer was supposed to be. Or hey, here's a course for 97. And then they're keeping these commitments that eventually it's like, hey, by the way, we do these retreats. The next one's coming next month, $3,500. Do you want to come? Okay. Now, obviously, there's 2 ways to think about this too. As an affiliate, you can put it in a funnel where everything happens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The best affiliates understand that sometimes it takes people time. So what I would do if I was doing the golf example, I would still have a funnel like this where I'm taking them through a logical sequence of events, moving them up the value ladder from 17 to 47, 97, and I probably make the $3,500 sell, even though I know that most people probably aren't going to buy it right then. They're not going to one-click upsell to $3,500. That's a big jump, right? But if they start going through the course, they start learning about that guru a little bit more, then they're more likely in the future. So then what I would do is I would finish that and maybe 2 weeks later email them and be like, hey, and then I could promote just directly the $3,500 course. Okay, does that make sense? Sometimes it takes time to get people to warm up through commitment. But sometimes people buy just directly in the funnel. So just thinking through that is like, sometimes you may be doing 2 funnels or 3 funnels. You have a $17 guide funnel that shows the $3,500. They're aware of it. They know it, but they didn't buy it for that time. You send them another funnel 2 weeks later. It's a different front end, brings them up. They see the $3,500. And then sometimes they see the offer 2 or 3 times and finally they're like, okay, I want that. I've seen it 3 times now. That sounds amazing. I'm going to buy that thing. Okay. So that's kind of how the commitment hijack goes. Maria asked, why do most sellers end their pricing with 7? The reason why is there was a dude, I think it was Ted Nicholas, back in like the 70s or something, did a pricing test, and he did the pricing, and based on his testing data through direct mail in the 70s, the numbers ended in 7 and 9, converted higher than other ones. And I don't think anyone's ever tested it since. So it could be completely a fallacy, but somebody said it was the thing way long time ago, and we've all just kind of kept with it. So who knows if it's true or not. Or if it still works today. Similar, like Ogilvy back in the day did tests where it said that like black text on white outconverted everything, newspapers everywhere, right? And so like if you inverted it, like it always would bomb. But fast forward till today, I have all sorts of campaigns that work where it's black background with white text. So you never know. Things change, people change. I still don't think anyone's ever really tested it. So, okay, keep on going. So again, that's the commitment hijack. Figure out the big thing they want and then start doing these little micro commitments, moving somebody towards the bigger, higher ticket thing. Okay, so if you have a high price, if you want to sell, use the commitment hijack. All right. If you guys like that, if you do type in hijack in the comments. Good luck spelling that. Hijack. Hijack. All right. There we go. Some hijacks. All right. Awesome, guys. Okay. Affiliate playbook number 3, continuity. This is probably one of my favorites in the entire, all the playbooks talking about. It's called the trip and trial. Okay, I got this name eventually from my buddy Perry Belcher. He was the guy who also had the suit one I showed you guys earlier. He for some reason coined like low ticket front end products, called them a tripwire offer. So making a tripwire low ticket offer, he called them tripwire offer. That name stuck for like a decade. So we kind of mushed it up and called it the trip and trial. Okay, so trip and trial. The goal of the trip and trial is to sell continuity, so recurring products, membership sites, communities, newsletters, things that are monthly recurring revenue. Right now, obviously you can just promote monthly recurring in and of itself. That's something you can do. A lot of people do it. So that's one thought. But this is the way to make it more efficient and more effective by doing trip and trial. Okay, so if you want to sell recurring continuity programs, then use the trip and trial. Okay, so this is how it works. On the front end, you have a tripwire offer, which is an impulsive offer. Like, I want to buy this thing. The price is good. It's sexy. It's exciting. Like something like just they want to have it, right? So that's the $1 thing. And then from there, the upsell then is putting people into a recurring revenue continuity program. Okay, so this is the example of probably the best tripwire offer in the history of all time. This was Perry Belcher's one that made this whole concept famous back, man, when was it? Over a decade. It was before ClickFunnels, so 10, 11 years ago. Crazy. It was this free credit card knife. Perry goes to China all the time, does the Canton Fair, and somewhere he was there, he saw this credit card knife. It's a credit card knife. You fold it up, it's like a credit card. You pull it out, you fold it, and it becomes like a little knife. And so he bought a whole bunch of these, came back, put up a free credit card offer. I think he paid $295 shipping and handling. And the first month on Facebook ads, I'm probably gonna mess up the numbers. The numbers I remember is like 250,000 of these he sold the first month before Facebook banned him. So we had 250,000 buyers profitably coming into his funnel. Tripwire, sexy, unique, interesting, fun thing to promote. He got banned off Facebook, and he started running ads on email lists, banner ads, everywhere else, and sold millions of these things. Okay, but he didn't make any money on it, right? He's selling this thing, he ships it out. Oh, by the way, this credit card knife became the #1 confiscated product in TSA history. So Perry's got a pretty cool story about that to brag about too. In fact, I remember at TSA, you know, when you walk through the lines, they have like those glass columns where you see stuff that they had repossessed. There's like guns and knives and like spray paint, weird things they got for people when they're going through the line. I saw that and there's like 5 of Perry's credit card knives in there. I was like, yes, that's the coolest thing in the world. Anyway, I digress. So this is the tripwire offer, okay? Free books a lot of times are tripwires. It's low ticket thing that's sexy, it's exciting, it's interesting. And then from there, you sell the tripwire thing, gets people in, and then you one-click upsell people into the continuity program, okay? So this was the continuity program that Perry had on the back of his free credit card knife. This continuity program, I think at the peak, they had literally hundreds of thousands of members in here. The way they did this offer was they would sell a bigger knife. In fact, I have another knife here. I literally just opened a box in that room with it. It's called the Hofter-Rickman knife. And so those videos like, hey, thanks for getting the free credit card knife. Would you also like the free I just forgot the name. Hofter-Rickman knife. If you want this free knife, all you do is upgrade to our continuity program. And I think in the fine print you can see there'll be $9.95 today to ship out the Hofter-Rickman knife. And you get a 14-day trial to the continuity program, and then after 14 days, it's billed $19.95 a month. So that's how it kind of works. And so from that, they were able to get hundreds of thousands of. Oh no, it's fine. From that, they were able to get hundreds of thousands of people into the continuity program. So that's the trip and the trial, right? Trip people in with a tripwire offer that's super sexy and exciting, and then from there, upgrade people into a trial continuity program. Okay, so that is the trip and trial. Very simple, very easy. Some of you guys may be thinking, how can I do that in my business? Okay, so before we launch OfferLab, I wanted to show some examples because one of my favorite recurring programs are like school communities. How many of you guys have a school community? You're involved in one? Okay, there's a lot of them that are recurring. And by default, you can't just, it's not an easy way to hook it up, but there's some workarounds. We're gonna make some training videos to show you guys how to do this, but we're able to do it for McCall. She's got a school group called Everyday Charisma, and we were able to put in, to be able to, again, there's some things you have to do, zaps and all sorts of nerdy stuff. So if you want to do this, especially when we get to the broker thing, we're going to show you guys more specifically how to do it so that if you want to go to school groups and get people onto the platform, you can do this. But we were able to bring her Everyday Charisma onto OfferLab, and it's a continuity program where she's teaching charisma, right? So we took that, and then on the front end, there is an offer. She has this $7 tripwire offer where it shows you how to book your first 10 podcasts online. So again, low ticket, really sexy. Hey, you want to book your first 10 podcasts online? $7. That's less than $1 per podcast, right? You pay that and then upsell like, hey, come join our continuity program, which is our membership site where you can learn how to do everyday charisma. So that's kind of the how the trip and trial works in that example. So I have a vision someday where we've got 1,000 different school groups on OfferLab someday, and all you guys are building trip and trials where you're building our front ends to get people into their continuity programs. I'm adding 3 or 4 of our own continuity programs. Like we have the Dan Kennedy continuity program on there. We have Secret Success continuity program on there. So we have a bunch of them in there as well. And my dream for you guys is like, hey, do the same thing. Go grab RussellBrunson.com Secrets book or Dan Kennedy's book and upsell. Like there's so many cool, fast, easy, exciting things you can do. So there you go. Trip and trial, one of my favorites. Okay, so if you want to sell continuity recurring income, use the trip and trial. If you like that one, type in trip and trial in the comments. Trip and trial, let's go. Yeah, all right, you guys are in. TNT, ooh, I like that. We'll call it the TNT one. Yeah, that's how that playbook works. All right, I'm going too deep into story time. We're already 40 minutes into this. I apologize. I hope you guys are having fun though. You guys having a good time so far? Because we're about to jump into affiliate playbook number 4, which is Porcupine and Heat, which is the craziest of all. I mean, not the craziest, but my stories around this are the craziest. So, here we go. We call this Porcupine and Heat. Every time I tell this story, half the time I mess it up and it's just really embarrassing. So we'll see how I do. So apparently, I don't know if this is true. Some of you guys probably know this. There is porcupines they're in heat once a year, but it's for like a 24 or 48 hour period of time. And so for the most of the year, they're fine, they're chilling, they're happy. But for like 48 hours, once a year, they're in heat, and they are going to, what porcupines do when they're in heat, and they do it a lot. Like, so there's the awkward Russell trying to explain this. The other example of this, I don't even know why I'm telling you this is embarrassing. So lions are the same way, by the way. So lions only reproduce like 1 week out of the year. And so I took my family to Kenya, went to Kenya, we built schools. It was amazing. We spent time with the kids. And then we went on a safari. We get on a safari. I load up all my kids, all the way down to Nora, who at the time was like 8 years old or 7 years old. And we jump in our little safari thing. We're going out there. We drive all the way up to the lions. And we're so excited to see the lions. And they're laying there. All of a sudden, the dude lion walked over to the mom lion and mounted up. And it was, and I actually have a video. I was going to show you guys, but then everyone thought that might be offensive, so I'm not going to show you guys. But anyway, my kids learned about the birds and the bees that day. And the person driving the caravan's like, oh yeah, lions only mate 1 week out of the year. But during that time, the male lion will mate like 400 times. It's like an 8-second ritual. It's very fast and weird. And my kids had the opportunity to see it dozens of times while we were on our safari because we happened to be there the week that the lions were in heat. So porcupine heat, lions in heat, that's kind of the concept is when porcupine in heat, it's going to do as much as possible. Okay. All right. There's the awkward explanation. Now let me turn this into something less awkward. So let's go face to face now that I'm blushing. So, okay. So let me explain the porcupine heat principle, like why this is so important. So when a buyer is in motion, they'll continue to be in motion for a period of time, right? The first time I really got this principle, this is pre-ClickFunnels, so like 15, 20 years ago. I had my company, we had, I don't know, 20 employees or something. We decided to do a bowling night. I love bowling. It's my 3rd favorite sport. Number 1's obviously wrestling. Number 2's obviously jujitsu. Number 3 is bowling. So we're going bowling. I'm excited. I got my own ball. I'm not bad. I can hold my own in bowling. So we go there and like I'm just thrashing everybody except for one guy, Michael Loveridge. I still remember to this day, and he beats me. Not once, not twice, but every game we played, in 3 games. And I was so, you may know this if you don't yet know this about me. I am the most competitive person you will ever meet in your entire life. And so I go home that night and I am not okay. I'm just like, I cannot believe of all the people I've lost to Loveridge. Like, there's no way I should be losing this. I was so mad. And for a window, I was a porcupine in heat, right? Like I had pain. I wanted to overcome that pain at any cost. And so what did I do? I was like, I got to learn how to bowl better. And so I go online and I start buying all sorts of stuff. I buy another new bowling ball because maybe my bowling ball is a problem. I need a new glove to like make sure my wrist doesn't move. Then I need training. I need shoes. And so in the next 3 hours, I'm a porcupine heat. Every person who had a bowling offer on the internet, I bought it. I'm buying every single one because I'm like, oh, I'm in so much pain. I must solve this problem. Okay. And then I finally pass out. I wake up the next day and like the pain's gone a little bit. And the next day it's a little less and a little less. And like 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, my poor Colette's like, there's some packages at the door for you. And there's like bowling balls and there's gloves and shoes and courses and books and like everything. And that time I was out of heat. Like I actually didn't even care anymore. And I never bowled with him again. But like there was a window where I was in heat. Okay. And so you have to understand, like when you get a buyer who's in heat, they're going to continue to buy everything they can on the topic, but it's usually for a window, for a finite period of time. Okay. Another example I had this is like, man, back about time we were launching ClickFunnels, so a decade ago. I had gained a little bit of weight, and I had a couple double chins, and I wasn't comfortable. But most of the time, I wore baggy clothes and didn't really matter. But once a week, I would go to church. Okay, and anyone of you guys who go to church, you put on the clothes and everything, and you button it up, and then you put if you're gonna wear a tie, you do the top button, and like it would just like it would hurt so bad. It's like the top button, I get it, and it was like choking me the whole time, and then I put my tie on, and so for 3 hours I'm at church, and I'm in so much pain. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm like my clothes don't fit. My head's about to pop off. Like this is horrible, right? So every Sunday I get back and I'm a porcupine heat. I'm in pain and so for the next like I don't know 4 or 5 hours I'm online. I'm researching diets and this and that. I'm buying this. I'm buying like protein powder like every Sunday. And then guess what happens? Monday, sure, I put on my t-shirt and jeans. I'm like, I'm fine, and I'm fine all the rest of the week. I'm out of heat. Until Sunday comes again, I got to put on my shirt, put the tie on, and I can't breathe. And then I'm back to the thing. Okay, so that's what's happening with your customers. Oh, I got one. I got one other story. Can I tell one more story? Um, okay, here's. Oh, anyway, sorry, I'm having fun. Okay, so the last story I'll tell you. I have a friend named John Allness. John is in the How to Pick Up Girls market, and he spoke at one of our events, man, probably 10 years ago. And he told me that he's like, right now, he's like, I email my customers 9 times a day, or my list 9 times a day. I was like, 9 times a day? Like, what? And he's like, yeah, this is how it works. You have to understand. He's like, Russell, for most of their life, the guys who are on my list, he's like, they have a girlfriend, like they're in relationships. They don't need to learn how to pick up girls, so they're on my email list for entertainment. They listen to me tell my stories and be like my person and da 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 da, and they're there for the conversation. He's like, but what's gonna happen is that one day that girl's gonna break their heart. Something's gonna happen, and they're gonna be in pain. He said that when they're in that pain, I have to make sure that my email is the next thing in their inbox. Because if it's not, they're gonna buy somebody else's stuff. So he's like, so because I know that, he's like, there's this window where they're going to be in heat and they need it. So I got to keep messaging them all the time. So the second they're ready, boom, they're going to buy and they'll buy all my courses and they'll buy my upsells, my coaching, my everything, because their heart was broken. And like, that's when they're in pain. Okay. All right. So there's my porcupine heat story to help you guys understand. That's like the way that buyers work. Um, Oh, I'm like trying to find, there it is. I was like, I lost the Zoom window to be able to go back to my slides. Okay, so that's what porcupine heat is understanding that. Like, so when you get somebody, you get a customer and you get them excited about something, they're gonna be in heat, they're gonna be excited, they're gonna want to buy a lot of stuff in that window. Okay. So um when you have customers that are ready to buy, that's when you want to start making them offers, okay? And again, call it porcupine heat, as you know. So I showed the example of the bowling. When you find somebody who's in pain because they lost at bowling, this is the best time to sell them a lot of things in a very short period of time because they're going to get out of heat very, very quickly. Okay, and most markets are like this, where people aren't buying every single day for a long period of time. They're buying in a cycle, like they have to get them excited. For example, how many of you guys, when you saw the OfferLab campaigns and promotions and everything, like we created desire. I was trying to turn you guys into porcupines in heat, right? So we got you to sign up and they got you to buy and they got you to buy like there's a window, and over time you guys will cool off, people will start falling away, things will happen, but like there's a window where you're a porcupine heat, you're trying to learn, absorb everything, and so it's the best time to make special offers to people during that window of time. Okay. A good example of this is the campaign we had a chance to be part of a couple years ago called Fiber Fix. They made the Harmon brothers who do all the funny viral videos, they made a really good video, went viral, but their funnel wasn't converting because they were sending it to a Shopify store, but that's the story for the day. And so we came back and we rebuilt the funnel for them. But I want you to show like when if you look at this funnel, it's interesting, but this is like the porcupine heat concept happening, right? So they just watch this viral video. They think it's funny. They're like, I need some fiber fix. So like now they're in heat for a little window of time. And in 24 hours from now, they're going to be out of heat and they're probably never going to buy this again in the rest of their life. So it's like, we've got this window where they're excited. We created desire for something. And now we need to like take advantage of that in a good way during this little window of time while they're porcupine in heat. Okay. So if you look at the offer here, what they were doing in the past, they were sending someone to a Shopify store that had a whole bunch of different products and hoping someone would buy something. So I was like, no, like let's simplify this. Let's create an offer out of it. So the offer, as you can see here, is they get three wraps of 1-inch fiber fix today. We'll throw in 2 wraps for free. Okay, so that was the offer. They would come here and they would hopefully fill out the form. Then the upsell. Let's see, where did the upsell go? Sorry. Come on, slides. Don't fail me now. Weird. My slide's not clicking through. Okay, let me just exit the slides. Maybe I can show you the page directly. All right, here we go. I'm gonna refresh this. That's kind of weird. My little images I was trying to show you guys all magically disappeared. There they are. They're back. Let's go. Okay. He's like, Russell, are you live? Yes, I am. Okay, so there's the front thing, right? So we're getting them. So instead of just selling one wrap, right? Okay, they're porcupine heat. Let's give them 3 wraps and then two for, or was that 3 wraps? So they buy 3 wraps. We'll give them 2 2 inches and 1 4 inch. Okay, so they end up getting 6 because they're excited. Then with the upsell, it's like, hey, do you want the 3 or do you want 6 or do you want 9 or 12 or 15 or 30? Okay, and then we defaulted to the 9. Okay. Now the majority of people took the 9. Some people took 30. Some people downgraded to 3. Okay. But we gave them the ability to buy more. And guess what? They bought more because they're buyer heat. Like, that's actually great. I need more of these. Let me get more. And then the order form bump. It's like, hey, do you want to throw in a heat wrap too? Like, yeah, I would love a heat wrap. That'd be great. Right. So that one crushed too. Then the upsell is like, hey, you just bought this. How would you like more of these at a discount? And it's like, you need them in your car, your garage. You can give them out for Christmas gifts. And people are like, yes, I want some more. So we sold even more here. The next upsell is like, one of the other products in product line, cool. Would you also like to have some heat wraps and some repair wraps and some rigid wraps? And like, if I had a discount, they're like, yes, I would. I love those as well. So they bought even more of it. And then the last page is like, cool. Do you also want the Manly Man kit? It's got even more of it. And people are like, yes, I want even more of it. Okay. And so people come through on this thing thinking they were coming to buy one roll of Fiber Fix. And by the time they went through, the average person was ordering like 14 different rolls. Okay. Why? They saw a video, created desire, they're porcupine heat, and they want to solve that problem. We position it where it's like, hey, get this for yourself, get it for a Christmas gift, put it in the house, in the garage, and da da da, right? So the copy, like the way we're logically linking these things together, we're explaining how they could use more and more and more, and we're getting them to consume. Okay, we have a mantra here in the office called Operation Consumption. How do we get people to consume more things? Okay, I hope that helps. Um, okay, what does fiber have to do with wraps? I have no idea. You have to watch the video. Anyway, okay, there we go. So when they're ready to buy, make them an offer. Okay. So creating offers like that, where you're like, hey, what's a market that people are really passionate about? You may want to go live. You're going to go live on Facebook or Instagram, or you're going to do some campaign or make a YouTube video where you can get somebody, you're going to create desire for something. And you're like, hey, I know they're going to desire for this. Like, how do I create a funnel that's like a porcupine heat funnel? It's like all the different things that they're going to need, right? To get them to be more and more excited to keep buying more offers. So hopefully that makes sense now how porcupine heat works. Okay. Affiliate playbook number 5. We call this the synthetic buy now button. Okay. Um, all right, this is one where, um, how do I explain this? This is one where let's say the course you're promoting as an affiliate, let's say it's a course, right? And it's a $300 course or $500 course or something, right? So that's the thing that somebody's going to be buying. And so the synthetic buy now is coming back and reverse engineering that, saying, okay, based on that, how do I get somebody? Because remember yesterday or 2 days ago we talked about the hardest thing that we have to do as marketers is get somebody off their chair to go grab their wallet and to bring it back and to buy the thing. So when I lead with like buy this $300 course, there's a lot of resistance there, right? Where people are like $300. Am I gonna get my credit card? Like it's just hard. So we do with the synthetic buy now button is we try to do something and create something where we can get them to put their credit card in where it's not stressful in a very simple, easy way. Okay. So what we do a lot of times is that works really good. I'm trying to think if I showed an example of this or not. Hold on. I don't think I had an example. I think I was going to show you guys actually inside of OfferLab the way to structure it. Okay, so it's the easy way to get people to one-click buy a course using this synthetic buy now button. Okay, so what you do is you create something that's either free or almost for free, and to get them to then one-click upsell into the actual course. Okay, so a good example of this is I have a course I sell called One Funnel Away Challenge, just $100. But on the front end, I have a free challenge called the 5-day lead challenge. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I've not done this yet, but I'm going to put the 5-day lead challenge inside of OfferLab, and I'm going to list it for 1 penny. Okay. 1 penny. And so what happens now is I can promote that and say, hey, here's the 5-day lead challenge. We've got 5 hours Russell training. This costs 1 penny. Right. And so it's no brainer. Like, oh, okay, I'll go get my credit card to put a penny in because it's really easy. So I put a penny in, I get access to this course. And next page upsells like, cool, you got a 5-day lead challenge to show you to get leads. After you get leads, then you have to sell them. You have to actually create a funnel to sell them. Here's the One Funnel Away challenge for $100 where you can buy. And now it's very simple. You get people one-click upsell, like, oh, I'll buy that. Boom, we click a button, one-click upsell, and it happened. Does that make sense? So that's kind of how we structure the synthetic buy now button is to create really low ticket front ends. So obviously, ideally, you can go and you can find some in OfferLab already, where it's like, hey, it's there's $1 or sorry, 1 penny offers. But the other thing is you can actually go and create your own. So what I'll show you, if you haven't done this yet, when we get to the offer creating stuff, we're going to be focusing on like how to create your own offers a lot more. But let's see if I go to the vault. So what I can do is you can create, you can put your own product in here. So you can use AI, for example, like what a lot of people do is they use AI to go look at a course, review it, and then from there make like a 7-page guide that's going to show you guys like how to implement one piece of the course, right? Or module number one, or just one sexy thing. Like for example, in my example I showed you, right? There's like, this is showing people how to build a funnel. This is showing people how to get leads. So it's like, this is almost like step one and then step two, okay? And so what you do in OfferLab, if you're creating a new offer, so the test offer, we do e-commerce. I know some of you guys are asking like, you guys want more demos of me showing these things. I wanted to focus on these on more strategy. We'll make follow-up videos that show kind of how to do it, but the how-to is it's really simple. The strategies I want you guys to really start understanding, right? So that's why I'm spending so much more time on strategy, okay? So here I'm pulling a product in and then I do the pricing. So what I do is I do simple pricing. I come here, add a price, and the price would then be 1 cent, okay? And that causes them to have to go get their credit card, right, to pay the 1 cent, but now credit card's on file. Now the next page is really easy to get them to say yes, in one click upsell the yes. Does that make sense? So that's kind of the concept of how the synthetic buy now button works, okay? So as an affiliate, it's like finding somebody who has a 1 cent offer and then upselling a more higher ticket offer. Or you can create your own 1 cent offer that then upsell an existing course. Again, we'll talk more about how to create those offers when we get to the offer creator playbooks. And hopefully you've had a chance to start going through course secrets, which you guys got for free. This is the $500 course we give you guys for free that shows you how to create your own product. So those are in there as well, but it's having a really, really low ticket offer with the only goal is to get someone's credit card, so then you can one click upsell them into the more expensive thing, okay? So that's the easy way to one click buy a course is by using what we call the synthetic buy now button, okay? All right, affiliate playbook number 6. Oh, we're an hour in. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. We'll keep cranking through these. This one is kind of similar to the last one, but it's a strategic difference, okay? We call this the Cliff Notes vacuum. So how many of you guys know what Cliff Notes are? You guys remember back in high school when you would go and you would, someone said, is there a difference in 1 cent? You could do 1 cent, 5 cents, $1, like stuff like that, okay? Cool, okay. So Cliff Notes vacuum. So again, this is very similar to the synthetic buy now button, but just strategically it's a little different, okay? The synthetic buy now button is like taking a smaller version of whatever you're trying to sell, like one module and selling that for a penny, 10 cents, $1, whatever it is, and then upselling people to higher ticket. Versus this is very strategically thinking through like, I'm going to go and the course I want to sell, let's say Tony Robbins is UPW. I want to sell that, right? I'm going to go to UPW and I'm going to take my notes and I'm actually going to sell my notes to it. Does that make sense? Okay. We have a guy who comes to Funnel Hacking Live every single year and we allow him to do this, but he comes and he takes notes on the entire event and he goes back and he sells the notes. And then guess what? From people buy the notes, he upsells people into my other products and services. Because like people who buy Russell's notes probably want to buy Russell's products, okay? And so that's how this works. So it's figuring out what's the course thing you want to sell, and then you create your own Cliff Notes from those, and then you sell the Cliff Notes, okay? So you get paid to take a course, okay? How many of you guys want to get paid to take courses? So go and buy someone's course inside OfferLab, go through the course, take your notes, and you create the Cliff Notes vacuum, okay? So a really good example of this, I don't know if this guy still does this. Back in the day, there was this guy called the Note-Taking Nerd. And this was his whole premise was like, you can get all the strategy and tactics without the fluff. He's like, I'm going to go as a nerd, attend the seminar, buy the programs, fly there, stay in a hotel, save time and money, I'm going to create notes, right? Then he come home and he then sell the notes. So this is an example. I was trying to find one I could show you. So because I own Dan Kennedy's company, Dan Kennedy's got a copywriting seminar. So the Note Nerds went through the Dan Kennedy seminar. And again, sorry, it's a blurry image, but it's the only one I could find online to show you guys. But it's like, here's my notes from going through Dan Kennedy's copywriting course, right? So you go through the entire course. He went through the course. He made his notes on it. People buy the notes, but guess what happens when you buy someone's notes? You're like, whoa, this seems really, really good. I want to buy the product. And then from there, he would upsell people back into the actual product he was reviewing the notes for. Does that make sense? Okay. So for you guys just thinking through that, like go and buy a course or an event or the thing that you're going to be selling, go through the process, take your notes, create a low ticket $5, $7, $1 offer, selling your notes. Like here's everything I learned from Tony Robbins. Here's everything I learned from the OfferLab event on how to launch an offer as an affiliate. Here's whatever that thing might be, right? And you put it in there, and you can one-click upsell people into the actual course that you took the notes for. Does that make sense? Again, it's a strategic difference from the synthetic buy now button, but it's very powerful. It's very powerful positioning, right? Like I just went through Tony Robbins' course. It was insane. My favorite thing ever. Who wants my notes? I see people all the time who do that in Facebook. They're like, I took notes on the last event. If you want my notes, type in notes in the comments down below. And then people type in notes and they send them a link to their note page on OfferLab. Buy my notes for $7, and then it gets people to go and upgrade and buy the other thing. So that's strategically how that one works too. Okay. So if you want to get paid to take a course, take the course, create notes, throw the notes up there on OfferLab, sell that as a front end, and then upsell people on the back end. Okay. And again, we'll go deeper on how to create courses and use the AI and much stuff in future trainings. Right now, I'm trying to give you guys the strategy and how to structure these offers as an affiliate. Does that make sense? All right. Should I keep on going? Sharon asked a good question. Isn't there a risk of IP issues and being sued? There can be. Yeah. I would definitely be careful on who you do it with. But for most people, it's like if you contact them, you're like, hey, I want to sell your product. Can I sell my notes for it? Most people aren't going to care, especially if you're an affiliate selling their course. Like it's, anyway. So yeah. Okay, affiliate playbook number 7, the hostage bonus bump. Okay, this one's really cool. So, how many guys would want to be the #1 super affiliate inside your market? If you do, raise your hand. Say, I want to be super affiliate. Let's go. Okay, I was the #1 super affiliate in our market for a decade until I kind of retired, and I do affiliate things very rarely nowadays. But for the most part, I create offers and get affiliates to promote mine. But for a long time, I was the #1 super affiliate. I was #1 affiliate in a network marketing company. I won a Ferrari. I've won watches, trips, also like insane things. Okay. Now here's the big secret: how to be a great affiliate. Okay. If you're selling somebody else's product and you want to sell a lot of it, especially if everyone's all promoting the same offer, you go and you create your own bonuses. Okay. So you create your own bonuses. And I put a lot of time into creating bonuses. So I would go and I would interview people and get the recordings. I would get things transcribed. I create my own products, my own courses. I'd build a whole bunch of things. I had an insanely cool bonus, right? And I would do that. I'd say, hey, everyone go and buy the course through my affiliate link, and then send me an email with your offer or with your receipt, and then I'll send you my bonus. And it was always kind of a nightmare because it was like, just tracking that. But that's how I did it for years, for a decade, is that's how I was everyone's #1 affiliate. So I'd like, hey, I do a whole promotion, show them my bonuses. You get it all for free when you sign up through my affiliate link. So clear your cookies, click down here, go over there, go buy the thing, and then come back, give me a receipt. And in 30 days, I'll make sure that you didn't refund and I'll send you the bonuses. Like that's how it was such a nightmare, but it worked. Okay. That's where this was birthed, this concept. It was actually, McCall Jones' husband, Tanner. Some of you guys don't know him yet, but he's amazing. He gave me this idea. He said he was doing this before. So imagine this, okay? You're going to be promoting somebody's product, okay? So you go to OfferLab, you find the product, you put it in there, and then you put your bonus. You create an offer that's your bonus, and you make that the order form bump. So you tell someone like, hey, I'm promoting Russell Brunson's new blah, blah, blah offer. When you go buy it, I will give you this bonus, okay? But the bonus costs 1 penny because I have to charge 1 penny on OfferLab, but it's the order form bump. So the only way to get this is to buy the product and buy the order form bump because you can't just buy that indirectly by itself. Only way to do is by buying the order form bump, okay? Now somebody goes and they go to buy the product, your bonus is the order form, they click on that and it's automatically, magically delivered to them. Does that make sense? And if they refund, it automatically pulls away from them. And so that's how the hostage bonus bump works, okay? So it is the secret way, let me see, secret way to do affiliate bonuses, aka how to up your offer. It's a hostage bonus bump. Okay, the way you win affiliate marketing and win affiliate launches, things like that, is to make your offer better than everybody else's. Okay, if somebody already wants to buy Tony Robbins' course or Russell Brunson's book or whatever, okay, and they're competing, they're going to look out there who's got the best bonuses. You create the best bonuses, it'll increase the value of your offer, and people are more likely to buy from you versus any of the other affiliates. Okay, and the affiliate bonus bump is the secret I kind of showed you. So again, it's very simple. It's taking your bonuses, adding them to OfferLab for a penny, and then you hook it as the order form bump there. And again, I'll have our team make videos showing you guys technically how to do each of these. Again, they're very simple, very easy. That's why I wanted to spend more time focusing on strategy with you guys. But we'll make videos showing you exactly how to do each of these elements, but it's very simple and very easy. And that way, that's plugged in there and it's really, really cool. Okay. So that's the secret way to do affiliate bonuses and the hostage bonus bump. All right, affiliate playbook number 8. This is the last affiliate playbook for the day. Oh, then we have to take a break till next week when we got 2 more trainings going through. I think next week we're doing offer. Maybe we're doing, I don't know, whatever we're doing next week will be fun. But affiliate playbook number 8. Okay, we call this an identification station. When I launched the ClickFunnels business and brand, something, if you were following along for a long time, you may have noticed that I started calling my people funnel hackers. I gave them an identity. Okay, when someone's on ClickFunnels trial at the time, we'd send them a t-shirt that said funnel hacker on it, right? We had all these things in place to build identity and connection with our community, right? People would identify. And after they identified as a funnel hacker, then they would buy other stuff from us. They came to our funnel hacking live. They bought ClickFunnels software, like everything else they built because we built an identity and they were part of this identity, okay? So this affiliate playbook is all about, is giving people an identity. So let me come back here. And one of my favorite ways to identity is through swag and through merch. I call it swag. My kids are like, Dad, swag's not cool anymore. Now it's called merch. Okay, so identification station. So what this is basically very simple. It's a way to use swag to sell stuff, okay? That is the identification station. So basically you find a front-end offer that is a t-shirt and you upsell anything else. And I think I did this in my OfferLab account. Let me come back and check. Let's see, I gotta cancel this whole thing. Save and exit. Okay, so if I come back here to my funnels, one of the first funnels I built was actually doing this. Yeah, where basically I took Stephen Larson's Capitalist Pig t-shirt was the front end. And by the way, we're about to drop, we have a huge merch store about to go live on ClickFunnels, and all those shirts are gonna be plugging here into OfferLab. So we'll have a billion exciting entrepreneur t-shirts you guys can use the front ends, which is really cool. Imagine like you buy it and you put it on, they make sure, who wants a shirt like this one? Click down below, and they start buying your shirt, and you upsell and sell other stuff, which is kind of cool. But this example, like Capitalist Pig shirt, they come down, and then upsell one was Steve's secret MLM hacks, and upsell number two was Brian Tracy's thing. Upsell number three was selling online, right? So I could put other things in the back end, but I'm leading with building identity. Here's a shirt, here's swag, here's merch, here's like a cape you put on. It's going to change your identity to something else. And so that's kind of how that playbook works. You figure out the people you want to sell to. What is a t-shirt you can find that is tied to that front end and to that dream customer, right? Give them the shirt and then upsell them the next thing. And so that's kind of how the identification station works, which is exciting. So that's how you use swag to sell stuff through the identification station. So those were the 8 playbooks, you guys. We had a chance to go through all the strategies. I'm gonna list them out. I want you to know, let me know which one is your favorite from these. Okay, so we got the porcupine and heat. Come on, that one's fun. Then we got the Trojan horse, we got identification station, we got the Cliff Notes vacuum, we got the synthetic buy now button, we got the trip and trial, we got the hostage bonus bump, and we got the commitment hijack. Which one of these 8s is each of your favorites, or it's 2, or it's 3? I think my favorites are probably, I love the trip and trial. I love identification station. I love the porcupine and heat. Trojan horse. Cliff Notes is cool. The hostage bonus bump, they're all so cool. I love them all. Anyway, these are all plays in the playbook, things you can do as you're going to OfferLab, finding this offer, that offer, mixing, matching, tweaking, change that, all that kind of stuff, okay? So there's the strategy behind how each of these individually work. Again, I know a lot of you guys in the comments were kind of like, I want to see Russell actually build these all out. So our team will go and start building some of these out so you can see examples of us kind of doing it. Again, they're very simple. As you guys know, the more you do OfferLab, the simpler it is. The key is just like finding the right offers. And again, the logical sequencing of events, what offer to be first and second and third, thinking through that, finding them, building it out, making the videos to kind of glue people together to move them from one step to the next step, move them through the process. Those are some of the core things that you guys learned 2 days ago from the strategy side of it. And this is kind of plugging those things in. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, I told you guys at the very beginning, these are not like huge different things, just different ways to think about how to structure the offers, how to plug things in. And by understanding that, like that's the big aha, that's the big secret sauce, right? Again, we spend weeks sitting here in the office brainstorming different ways to structure an offer. And I mentioned at the beginning of the call, like we have offers that just by changing the structure will go 2-3x sales. Like just our selling online event, a $10,000 offer by changing the structure of the offer. Same price point, same deliverables, but changing how the offer was structured, 3x our sales. Okay, so for you guys, like these playbooks are all different ways to structure your offer, right? Trojan horse, how do I do that? Porcupine heat, how do I do that? Identification stations, like all these things are different ways to structure your offers. Okay. And because OfferLab is so fun and easy, like you can launch one of these every single day. Like I'm going to try the Cliff Notes version and see how that works. I'm going to try a trip and trial. I'm going to try this. And you just test different things and see what people connect with, what they don't connect with. And that's kind of the game plan. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope that helped get some of the strategy going through and get you guys, again, just learning these principles over and over and over again. We will get this into the certification members area as quick as possible. If you don't have access to that, hit up our support staff or team. You guys also, if you're here, you have access to it. So I think if you go into OfferLab account, there's a training section. You can go and you can find it and log in, and all those trainings are in there. But that's kind of the game plan. So, all right. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed today. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. If I don't see you guys again before next week, have a great weekend. Go build some funnels inside of OfferLab. Go promote some stuff. Have some fun. It's fun on our side. We have I can see behind the scenes like stats and counters. It's fun seeing people offer some, which ones are hitting, and like a lot of really fun things are happening. So we're excited for the platform, excited for you guys to be part of it. Excited, next couple weeks we're gonna be going deeper into the offer creator playbooks and then the broker playbooks, which are both gonna be really fun. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everything. We also next week we are finalizing the white label webinar. We recorded one 2 weeks ago for myself, so we've been testing that, and then we're gonna be coming back on the call one of these days and kind of going back through the white label webinar and giving you guys access to that as well. So a lot of fun stuff coming. Keep paying attention, keep plugging in, keep being part of the community. Appreciate you guys. And with that said, I'm gonna end this. Thanks so much, and we'll see you guys all on the next training. Bye, everybody.